Sponsored by RxCardClub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. RxCardClub.com. How long does nicotine stay in your system? Generally, it takes 1 to 3 days after you stop using tobacco for nicotine to clear your blood system, and up to 10 days for cotinine, the major breakdown product of nicotine, to be gone. This is an estimate because people process nicotine differently depending on their genetics, and it also depends on how much you inhale and how much nicotine is in the cigarette. Cotinine is the substance most often tested for with a nicotine test. Cotinine is the major metabolite of nicotine and does seem to have pharmacological effects, although more research is needed. Cotinine is usually the substance tested for because it is much more stable than nicotine and lasts for longer in the body. The only reason you would have cotinine in your body is if you have used or smoked nicotine products. How long does nicotine stay in urine? After stopping tobacco products, both nicotine and continue will be cleared from your urine in 3 to 4 days. Cotinine persists in urine for longer in people who smoke menthol cigarettes or who are exposed regularly to secondhand smoke from menthol cigarettes. How long does nicotine stay in saliva? Nicotine can stay in saliva for up to 4 days, and a saliva test is the most sensitive test to detect recent nicotine use. How long does nicotine stay in hair? Hair testing can detect nicotine for 1 to 3 months after a person stops using tobacco. In chronic users, it may detect nicotine for up to 12 months. It is the most reliable way to determine if somebody has been using nicotine long term. How long does nicotine stay in breast milk? Nicotine quickly enters breast milk in high concentrations while smoking, but within 2 hours it has reduced by half. It takes about 10 hours to completely leave breast milk. What if I'm on nicotine replacement therapy? If you are using nicotine replacement therapy, NRT, to help quit tobacco, then you may be given a test that looks for nicotine, cotinine, and anabasine, which is a substance that is present in tobacco but not NRT. If the test returns a positive result for anabasine, then this shows that you are still using tobacco because it wouldn't show up if you were just using NRT. How do nicotine tests work? Nicotine tests are either qualitative, looks for the presence or absence of nicotine, or quantitative, measures how much nicotine or cotinine is in your body. Quantitative tests can tell whether you are an active smoker or have recently quit. They can also determine exposure to secondhand smoke if you are not a tobacco user. Who would require a nicotine test? Nicotine tests are not as common as drug tests but may be required before certain surgeries, by the court in child custody cases, for employment, for smoking cessation programs, if your doctor suspects a nicotine overdose, when applying for health or life insurance. What do nicotine test results mean? No nicotine, no exposure for several weeks including no secondhand smoke exposure. Low-level nicotine detected, exposure to secondhand smoke, non-tobacco users, or use within the last week, but not within the last few days. Moderate nicotine levels detected, stopped smoking within the last few days. RxCardClub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 80% on prescription drugs.